Get set, because it's
time to go with the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. With your host with the most, the man voted most likely to smoke out with a Yeti, Mr. Brian Brown. Mr. Brian Brown. Now sit back and relax, because it's time to go live across the world. Because it's 420 Somewhere.
And boom, we are live. How's everyone doing out there, guys? It is True Crime Thursday here on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. I'm your host, Brian Brown. And what this is, what you stumbled into, is the hottest, the wildest, the craziest, the wackiest 420 countdown show of all time, guys. We go live Monday through Friday, and we count down to the greatest time of all time. That's right, 420, guys. We do a strain review, a product review. We do some kind of crazy cannabis review, guys, and then we get into the nitty gritty. We count down to 420, and then we get into a whole mess of stuff in the meantime, guys. I'm talking Movie Monday, Paranormal Tuesday, Weed Wednesday, and today, True Crime Thursday, guys. We're kind of mix-mashing here. We are mix-mashing. We are doing a review of a true crime documentary series on HBO called The Truth About Jim. And this is kind of fascinating to me. Boy, I got some opinions. Guys. What this is, hey, Lonnie, there he is. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Oh, man. Lonnie on the Facebook, on the Instagram. He's on all the things, man. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? What this documentary is about a man named Jim Mordecai. And he passed away, and his stepfamily kind of steps up, and I guess one of his real daughters steps up, and they talk about, I guess he wasn't the nicest man in the world, according to them. We're going to get into that, guys. They hint that he could be a serial killer, and they drop a lot of famous serial killer. He could have been the Zodiac killer. They actually, hey, Brian's Broken Bong, how's it going? So we're going to get into all that, guys. We got our girl, Aurora Hayes, that we're going to actually talk about the Zodiac killer, guys, the myths, the facts on Stoner for History for Stoners today, guys. And then we got a top 10 list. We got a whole bunch of stuff popping, cracking, jacking, all the things, guys, all the things. All right, let's see here. All right, first up, guys, since it is True Crime Thursday, before we get into our 420 countdown, we are going to do a top 10. That's right, top 10. We're going to get into an awesome Supernova Mike. How's it going, buddy? How's it going? We're going to get into the top 10 reasons you should not be an internet sleuth. All right, let's do it, guys. I love it. I love it. Production value, guys. That's right. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Well, shoot. I thought I had it. Hang on, guys. I do have it. I got my stuff together. I promise. Okay. The top 10 reasons you should not be an internet sleuth. Had production value, had it all keyed up to be great. All right, guys. Number 10, your Google search history will be a twisted maze of conspiracy theories and cat memes. That's right. You don't want that. You don't want that, guys. Number 9, you'll spend more time deciphering cryptic online comments than actually talking to real people. You stick with the real people, guys. Number 8, your detective skills are unmatched in finding out irrelevant information about celebrity pets. That's right. Number 7, you've developed a nervous tic every time you hear the phrase, Just let me fact check that. Oh, number 6. Is that right? Yeah, number 6, guys. Your friends will have stopped inviting you to parties because you always end up interrogating their guests about their LinkedIn profiles. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. LinkedIn's a real thing. I swear to you. All right, number 5. You become the master of the dark arts known as Facebook stalking and Twitter lurking. That's right. When your friends come to you and they're like, "Hey, I think so and so is cheating on so and so. Can you find out?" And you're the one they go to. You've gone too far, guys. You've gone too far. All right. Number 4, you recite the terms of service for every social media platform by memory, but you still can't remember where you left your keys. That's a sign you've gone too far, guys. Number 3, your subscription to VPN services rivals your Netflix addiction. That's right. If you got more than one VPN, maybe. All right, and then number 1 guy. Wait a minute. Number 2. You've created more conspiracy theories than the History Channel, and they're all about your neighbor's gardening habits. That's right. That's how you know you shouldn't be an internet sleuth. All right, and the number 1 reason you need to know you shouldn't be an internet sleuth is you've accidentally stumbled upon your own personal information more times than you care to admit, and you promptly panicked. That's right, guys. That's when you just need to lay it to rest. Just lay it to rest. And those were your top 10 reasons, guys. But above all, it is 420, guys. Blow up those comments. Let me know what's cooking, what's shaking, what's baking. What are you smoking on? What are you drinking on? What are you eating on? What are you getting into? Blow up those comments. It's 420. And boom, there you guys go. Happy 420, guys. Happy 420. All right, guys. It is time to, I'm going to do my little review, guys. I am getting in. It's T for two and two for T. Me for you and you for me. St. Ives is great. Don't you freight. It is great, great, great. That's right, guys. I'm gonna do a whole bit now, right? We're gonna do a high tea on the 420 podcast, guys. The high tea. Whoa, look at that. Just snapping. This is some St. Ives high tea Georgia peach. That's right. It ain't a peach unless it's a Georgia peach. All right, guys. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. But guys, all right, we got our St. Ives. You can find this where? 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California, the Healing Center, guys, where you can get that Georgia peach of your dreams. Get on down there. A lot of other great stuff, guys. Check that out. All the info on the deal. All right, we're going to try it out. Does it have the funky taste or is it great, great, great? Here we go. Nice. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Lipton. The Lipton peach tea, the diet Lipton peach tea. I drank the hell out of that. Tastes almost exactly like it. or when you get the mix, the concentrate, and you mix it in it. That's what it tastes like. The Lipton, the mix. Woo! Do the St. Ives get you baked? Yeah, no, it depends on your tolerance. It would take me about a 12 pack to start feeling pretty good. But I guess, with alcohol, same kind of deal, right? Like, I drink 6 and feel pretty good. They're pretty good. Like I said, I have a high tolerance, so I shouldn't be the bar by any means. But man, this is really, really good. I definitely recommend this, guys. It's tea time, high tea. Here's to you guys. Here's to a great, great rest of the week. And as we're sipping on our tea, as we're thinking about the good life, guys, I'm going to declare it officially True Crime Thursday, guys. And let's start this sucker. That's right. It is True Crime Thursday, guys. And we got a really good one for you today. Reviewing this docu-series on HBO or Max, one of those. The Truth About Jim. We're going to find out, do I think Jim is an actual serial killer? He wasn't around to defend himself, which kind of bugged me. We're going to get into it, guys. We're going to get all my thoughts. It's a decent series, something to watch. But, guys, first, on this same level, we are going to be talking about the Zodiac Killer a little bit. So what I wanted to do is bring in our girl, Aurora Hayes, and let her explain in a brief segment I like to call History for Stoners. She's going to talk about who was the Zodiac Killers, the facts, the fiction, and the theories. We're going to get into it right now. Come on down, Aurora Hayes.
In the 1940s when the jazz was fine, had a mind set on a golden high. With Aurora Hayes we danced through the haze, imagined adventures that would forever amaze. Oh, Aurora Hayes, light up our days, spark those cannabis dreams in a magical ways. With every puff our spirits would rise to limitless heights under starry skies. Oh, Aurora Hayes, light up our days.
You know the Zodiac Killer was a fan of cryptograms, just like your grandma. Now I know what you're thinking. What does a serial killer have in common with your sweet, pie-baking, cross-stitching granny? Well, it's not the penchant for knitting or the love for old-timey soap operas, but rather the fascination for cryptograms. Yes, cryptograms. Those little puzzles that keep your grandma entertained for hours on end were also the preferred pastime of one of the most infamous serial killers in history, the Zodiac Killer. In the late 60s and early 70s, this elusive criminal terrorized the San Francisco Bay Area, leaving behind not just a trail of unsolved murders, but also a series of taunting, cryptic messages. He'd send these coded messages to the press, daring them to crack his codes. Now, I'm not suggesting your grandma is a secret criminal mastermind, but it certainly puts her Sunday afternoon cryptograms in a new light, doesn't it? Now that's a killer hobby, isn't it? Speaking of hobbies, our sponsor, thedailydank.com, is a one-stop shop for all things cannabis. But don't worry, their love for plants is strictly legal. Now, I'm not saying they're into cryptograms like our infamous Zodiac, but they do have a knack for decoding the secrets of the cannabis world. From education to entertainment, it's a veritable treasure trove for those with a penchant for the green. With morning shows that are more enlightening than your cup of joe, and podcasts guaranteed to tickle your funny bone, thedailydank.com is your virtual home away from home. And hey, who knows? Maybe the Zodiac would have been better off swapping his cryptic pastime for some good old cannabis culture. With the Daily Dank's array of offerings, even the most enigmatic of us can find something to enjoy. Now, if only the Zodiac had chilled with some of the Healing Center offerings, history might have been a bit kinder. Alright, enough with the jokes. Let's dive into the chilling world of the Zodiac Killer. So, who was the Zodiac Killer? Well, that's the million-dollar question. In the late 60s and early 70s, the Zodiac Killer terrorized Northern California with a series of brutal murders. The thing that really set him apart, though? His love for cryptograms, that's right, This guy was sending out coded messages like they were going out of style. The Zodiac Killer was no ordinary criminal. He was a brazen murderer who taunted law enforcement with letters and cryptic puzzles sent to local newspapers. The letters would detail his crimes, his plans, and even his motives. But here's the kicker. Of the 4 cryptograms he sent, only one has been definitively solved. The other 3 remain a mystery, just like the identity of the Zodiac himself. Now let's talk theories, because trust me, there are plenty. Some folks believe the Zodiac was a deranged fan of the opera The Mikado, inspired by its theme of punishment. Then there's the theory that he was a military man, based on his knowledge of cryptography. And let's not forget the countless suspects named over the years. From school teachers to convicted murderers, it seems like everyone's had their 15 minutes of Zodiac fame. But despite all the theories, the Zodiac Killer remains unidentified. The case has gone cold, but the fascination persists. His story has inspired countless films, books, and even this cheeky little video you're listening to right now. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to appreciate the irony of our sponsor, the Healing Center of Needles, a superstore all about good vibes and cannabis culture, sponsoring a segment about a notorious serial killer. You know they've got everything you need to chill out after a deep dive into true crime. So the Zodiac Killer, a cryptogram-loving mystery man with a penchant for terror. Talk about a bad Tinder profile. Speaking of bad profiles, here's a place with an excellent one. Our second sponsor, the Healing Center of Needles. Now this isn't your average run-of-the-mill cannabis superstore. Nestled along the iconic Route 66, the Healing Center of Needles is a sanctuary for all things cannabis. Imagine this. The biggest selection and lowest prices, a place where you can learn about the ins and outs of cannabis while immersing yourself in a unique culture. They offer an extensive range of products from your daily Dank to the more exotic strains that would make even the most seasoned connoisseur blush. And let's not forget their CBD and wellness products. Now, if the Zodiac had visited the Healing Center of Needles, perhaps he would have found a more peaceful way to spend his time, but alas, we'll never know. Till next time, Danksters, I am Aurora Hayes, and remember, just keep smoking.
All right, guys. Thank you, Aurora Hayes. So yeah, the Zodiac Killer, guys. I mean, very specific, very had his quirks. Very, very. Hey, where's the broken brain of Eric? He up in here? How you doing, buddy? Let me give some shout outs real quick, guys. Shout outs. What do we got going on? We got Supernova Mike. How's it going? Hey, we got Teresa going to a retirement party. Nice, nice. Thank you for stopping by, Teresa Della. Supernova Mike. We got Chantel. How you doing, Chantel? And Russ, how you doing, buddy? Rosie Key in the house. We got Lonnie. We got Lonnie. How you feeling, Lonnie? You gotta have to do a re-up here pretty soon. Uh-oh, did I freeze up? Hello. Oh, there we go. There we go. Maybe not. Yep, there we go. It will figure itself out, guys. All right. We got Aaron in the house. We got Lonnie. We got Rosie Key. We got Supernova Mike. We got Brian's Broken Bong. We got Aaron all the way from Australia. Love it. Sitting in the air conditioner. Nice, nice. Supernova. Hey, Aaron, I got to ask. Over here, like where we're at in the desert, AC is standard with most houses. In Australia, is it standard or is it something you have to add additionally? What else we got? We got a bunch of people up in here. Chris Zucchini, how you doing? We got I don't see Eric, but man, Eric, thoughts and love to you. Russ, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? I knew you were back there. I knew it. I knew it was always the party can't start unless it's a Russ party. Don't stop when it's a Russ party. Party don't stop when it's a Russ party. That's right, guys. I don't know what that was, but let's do this thing. We are getting into the truth about Jim. It is True Crime Thursday, guys. I have officially called it. And let me throw up our graphics here. Get all fancy. All right, guys. The truth about Jim is a new docu-series on HBO Max. This is brand new 2024. Let's see. The information about it is Oh, these are all reviews. I had my stuff. 2024. This is a Ron Howard production. He is just producer, I think, in name only. This is kind of, I'm going to say, like a student film, man. It comes off as a student film, to be honest. It's a documentary. This is an investigator confronts a traumatic past and secrets that have excuse me, that have plagued her family for generations. Was Jim Mordecai, their husband, stepfather, and step grandfather, a notorious serial killer? That's right. This is going to be Sierra Barter, Shannon Barter, and Judy Mordecai. Are the three main people in this. This is a documentary, guys. I believe it's what is it, a four-part documentary. And real quick, guys, I'm going to let you see the trailer. And then we'll kind of get into the whole story. That way we are all on the same page. We all got the same information. You know what I'm saying. More truth about Jim. Oh, my God. There's a whole world popping up here. Let's see, the official trailer. All right. Hang on 1 second, guys. Let me share this sucker. All right. And cha-ching. All right, guys. So this is, let me take off the graphic. This is The Truth About Jim, the official trailer, guys. All right. Let me unmaximize that. All right. And here we go, guys. This is what we're talking about today.
Jim was something that I've never encountered before. He was well respected in the community.
He seemed like a really nice teacher.
There's a lot of people that still to this day look up to him, but it's far darker.
I'm just trying to figure out when I started thinking that he killed people.
My step-grandfather was a man named Jim Mordecai. My entire life I have heard horror stories about him.
He beat us up, he put us down.
He either was the most charming man you were ever going to meet, or he was your worst nightmare.
Being sexually assaulted by your step-parent who happens to be a teacher, it just made me shut down.
He would say awful things. I was terrified of him.
I remember my mom first mentioning that she thought Jim could have been a murderer. Maybe she wasn't just being my crazy mom. Maybe this was based in some reality.
It would not shock me if Jim had murdered some women. I actually probably would be shocked if he didn't do it.
Authorities say they have 6 of these homicides, apparently all by the same mad killer.
The similarities are just too weird.
Does he resemble the person you might have seen? Holy shit.
I need to know lots more.
Oh my gosh, that knife.
I don't even know what to feel.
Do you think that your grandfather was involved?
It sounds nuts, but here's the reality. Somebody's grandpa was the serial killer. Was it mine? I don't know. But somebody's grandpa was.
All right, guys. So that was The Truth About Jim. That was the trailer, guys. So I went ahead and I watched this, got into it. It's decently produced. I'm going to tell you, it does come across to me as a student film, especially after you are having Ron Howard and Brian Switzer, I believe is his name, as one of the producers on it. And now the main, I guess the main investigator, Aircon should be standard, standard places, but don't have it. Definitely need it. Summer's gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it should just be always like, yeah, that's so crazy when I found out places just don't have air conditioning standard. Crazy. So anyway. The main investigator on this, guys, was the granddaughter, and her name, I believe, is Sierra Barter. And so she's the granddaughter. And I want to put it out there first that she was like 2 years old when Jim Mordecai died. So she's only going off of these stories that she's heard from her grandmother and her mom. I don't know, man. The guy had some problems. Obviously, he was. I mean, according to some of the stuff, but it's so weird, man. It's it comes across thirsty. I guess is the best way I could put it. They come across so thirsty to try to nail this guy. And it just, oh my God, the looks on their faces to like the clues they're trying to patch together. Um, Again, I'm not trying to diminish anyone's trauma, anyone's stuff. It just, after the fact, it's been what, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, whatever it's been. I forget what they said. At least 20 years because the chick's like in her 30s. So probably 25, 30 years. And, just everything is so speculative and so one sided. So the mother of the main investigator. So she her mom married Jim Mordecai, and she talks about an incident like, oh, this is one at the pool where he gets out of the pool or the hot tub and they pass each other, and she's getting ready to go in and she's in her bikini, and he looks at her and he says, hey, and he keeps walking. But there was that moment where he stopped, and you know what he was thinking, like, things like that, which don't really like. I mean, that's real so like one sided, and maybe it did come across like that, but I mean, let's get a round view of it. And I do want to put this out there too, guys. I don't want to just totally trash this thing. Um, the main investigator had stated that she had been sexually assaulted twice in her life, and this is kind of what motivated her to pursue this documentary. And you know what? And I believe her 100%. That the worst kind of crime is sexual assault. Anything to do with that kind of stuff is just horrendous, guys, and just the worst. So I don't want to diminish her 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 victimness or whatever it's called. I don't want to diminish her trauma, her experiences by any means. It comes across though like she is so thirsty that almost like she's using this to right her wrongs that had happened. And and the guy's not around to defend himself, and I'm not saying he's a good guy, he's a bad guy, but again, some of the connections that they try to make are just insane. So in episode 3, they try to talk about Jim Mordecai as the Zodiac killer. It could possibly be, right? Was he the Zodiac killer? Oh my God! Oh my God! And then there's the hitchhiking murders, and let's talk about the hitchhiking murders first, guys. All right. So this is a series of young girls went missing and murdered. They were found in the forest. It's a whole thing. You guys can look it up. It's very they talk about it in the documentary. Again, I would recommend watching the documentary. Just don't take my word for it, guys. And so they go and they visit this lady who had bought property where some of the bodies had been found, and this lady is obsessed with these murders. I mean, obsessed. Like, she knows every bit of information. She bought property because of it. Like, it's just insane. She's so thirsty. Again, thirsty is the best word I could use. And this investigator goes up and they start talking, and the lady who owns the property is like, well, there's still a eyewitness from 30 fucking years ago, 40 years ago, that's down the street, and why don't we go talk to her? Oh yeah. So they go down there, and you could just see it. These 3 women just wanted it so bad. They just, well, she's telling the story about she was the last eyewitness to see 2 of the girls who went missing. It was at a roller rink, and they wanted to go smoke pot with the guy. Well, the guy didn't look like a middle schooler. That was her exact word. He didn't look like a middle schooler. And so they go, that girl says no. The 2 other ones go off, and they're never seen from again. So this is what, 30, fucking 40 years ago. Hey, Tim W., what's up? We're talking Jim Mordecai. And if he was a serial killer, a new documentary, The Truth About Jim, over on HBO Max. So this is Jim Mordecai. He doesn't look like a middle schooler to me. I don't know. If I'm a middle schooler and this guy's like, hey, you want to go smoke some pot? I'm going to say no. I'm going to be like, yeah, no, I'm cool. So anyway, they pull these three women. Well, if I show you a picture of my step grandfather, would you be able to tell? Well, I'll take a look at it. That's him. 40 fucking years ago. No, not that quick. No, no, no. I'm sorry. And then the one lady who owns the property's all drooling in the back, looking like Throw Mama from the train. I mean, oh my God. It's just, they're looking for the Goonies bandits, the Fratellis. I found her. This lady's in the back, and they just want it so bad. And it's all speculative. It's all just nonsense. And they're trying to connect things that just don't connect. So the serial killer, the Zodiac killer, that's another one. They try to pinhole Jim Mordecai on this Zodiac killer. So there's a picture of Jim Mordecai. There's another one with some facial hair. And here is the suspected what the Zodiac killer would look like, guys. And I mean, everything they tried to connect just was such a stretch, man. It just was such a stretch. This really could have been an hour, a 90-minute documentary. But they tried to stretch it out to 4 episodes. I don't think it played out very well. When you get desperate for content, you can really see it. And I think that's what happened with this documentary. I think if they would have stuck with, was my grandpa a serial killer? We're going to do a 90-minute documentary. Hell, we'll do 2 hours. We'll do 120 minute. You know what? Great. I think you could have condensed it. You would have had a tight timeline. Even the hitchhiker thing, how ridiculous I thought it was. You could kind of connect that. But when you start talking Zodiac and you start talking all these other serial killers that don't even add up, you're desperate for content. You're desperate to get those 2 episodes out. I don't agree. That's just my opinion. Who the hell am I? Wonder if I can get it in Australia. Is it a Max TV streaming? Sounds interesting. Yeah, so it's a streaming service called HBO Max. I think you should get it VPN. Don't forget about a VPN, Aaron. You could actually set it to where it looks like you're in the United States, and you could watch United States programming via all the services we get. You're disguising you. He looks like all the guys from the 60s and the 80s, right? He looks like everybody with that stupid haircut, the over the ear, like, oh, man. That's him, 100, 1,000%, right? It's him. Like, how could you go on? And then, so other things they said, like, so 4-H was the big thing there. We're in their town, and once a year you do you breed your chickens, you do that, you grow your stuff, and you gut them, you make them for food. That's what 4-H is. It's farmers. I mean, you can't get around farming without killing an animal. And they were like, he loved that day. You could see a special gleam in his eyes. And you're like, could you really? Or like, I mean, you know. That's right. St. Ives want a sponsorship. Ding ding. No. You looking for somewhere to send some free St. Ives? I got you. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. The truth about Jim, it's worth a watch. I'm going to tell you that. You guys will definitely see come episode 3. They're so desperate for content. They're trying to make things up. Just didn't play out as well as I thought they were. I don't know. The girl, the main host, I think she has a future in it. She did her work. I think if it wasn't so personal, it would have came across better. She made it all really personal too. Yeah, I've done it the best, man. I've done it in the back way. Oh, I've done it that back way, where we've watched stuff from Australia, Netflix from like Australia and England. Yeah, if I can say England, guys, is pretty fire. You get like all the NBC Peacock shows and a whole bunch of it's a whole different world across the pond. All right, yeah. So, and I think you can catch it on YouTube and stuff. Aaron, I would look at a different. You probably could download it. To be honest, not that we support that kind of behavior here on the Daily Dank. We don't support that kind of stuff here, guys. All right. Oh man, you guys rock, man. Yeah, so I would recommend it. It's worth a watch. Like I said, they're grasping at straws at some of this. I think they come across kind of desperate at times. Was the guy a good guy? Absolutely not. Was he a serial killer? I don't think so. Could have been. I don't know. Who knows? Was he a piece of shit? Probably. All right. But he's not here to defend himself. That's a whole nother thing. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't have to live with him. All right, guys. I was like, what is that? What is Tim W posting? A sad face? Oh, Tim W, don't be sad. All right, guys, I'm going to get the heck on out of here. We will be back tomorrow in the morning. We're going to talk March Killer Madness, guys. March Massacre Madness. There we go. The Triple M. March Massacre Madness. They were taking November to Dismember, and we're bringing it to this month since we didn't do it. Busy boy here. We're doing it, guys. We're going to launch it all month. We're going to count it down just like the NCAA finals. We're going to have a good one. Don't forget to dive in, guys. We got to get our drive-in movie things cooking. Supposedly, I got 3 more weeks of physical therapy. Oh, 3 more weeks. Hello, Tim's neighbors. I got 3 more weeks of physical therapy, hopefully, guys, and then the driving shall stop, hopefully. All right, appreciate you guys. I will see you guys in the morning, 7:10 a.m. Appreciate you guys. Let me get this all keyed up. How do you think about the production value today? Ooh, fancy. All right, guys, we will talk to you in the AM. Have a blessed night. Get some good grub, get some good green, and we'll see you as we're rising against the machine. We'll see you guys.
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by thedailydank.com.
Check out our merchandise and amazing content.
And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
We'll see. Oh, big stretch. Big stretch, guys. We'll see you.